Okay, so what's your name?
I'm Nick. You can also call me Ice.
And how long have you been down at Occupy Louisville?
Today's my first day.
Okay, cool. So what brought you down? Why did you come down here?
Actually the main focus of usually most of their efforts is, I mean, it's more than that, but usually that's the one where they'll get the most start from is helping the homeless get awareness, and the fact that I'm actually part of that group, of the homeless group, and the fact that it's now if anybody thinks I'm basically the blind leading the blind, I beg to differ. Because I am actually lead, because the fact that what happens to us does need to be made known. Because if it doesn't, then who's actually gonna help us?
So how did you hear about what was going on? How did you find out about it?
A person who was already a member invited me to come with.
Okay, and
her name is her name is just to show her some confidentiality. Her name, all you'll know is that it's a woman.
Okay.
Who showed me this. That way I'm being fair to her and
That's fine.
showing her some privacy.
That's fine. The different people here are interested in a whole wide range of issues, and so I'm wondering what are the political issues that are most important to you, or what are you hoping that this movement can change?
What's most important to me is homeless. What happens to the homeless awareness? What happens to the disabled awareness? Because those are things I have to deal with personally, and the fact that I want to make sure that the rest of the world it's known throughout the rest of the world.
And what do you think some of the solutions? I mean, do you know what has to happen, or do you have ideas about what has to happen to help the homeless, or to help make sure there aren't as many homeless?
Well, there's one real big one, because the fact that most shelters are more like they may be temporary for the way the society views it, but I mean, where else? Because people, they claim they'll aid getting jobs, they claim they'll aid getting health care, they'll claim they'll aid on all this stuff, but they don't. These shelters are basically, I'm going to abbreviate so I'm not offending the public, the shelters are basically POSs that need to be upgraded. They need to be treated like temporary homes.
And
like that the fact that like each shelter should be treated like a home, not like a place that has to have, I mean, rules are part of a home, but who wants to be in a home where these rules make no sense that within a normal home?
Right. Who should be in charge of making sure that there are enough shelters and that the shelters are sufficient quality? Is that something that the city should be doing, the state, churches?
About the whole who's in charge of the shelters thing, and I honestly think that, honestly, the government should pay for it, but the people who may or actually do have to deal with the shelter, how it's dealt with, should be the ones deciding what happens in them.
Okay.
The fact that everything should be everything should be agreed upon, not this.
So people should have some say in the environment that they're
because the
living
fact
in?
that when I've stayed at shelters and I brought up an issue, nothing has been done about it because of the way they view it.
Now, you said
if I make a grievance, the fact that irregardless if you think it's credible or not, the fact that whoever's in charge should announce it to you that it may not be credible. Do you want to continue this grievance?
You mentioned that you're about to lead an educational session or a group.
Yes.
What is your session about?
Mine is on disability. I must start with the the one that most affects most people don't notice, because no one knew that I was what they would call an Aspie. I have Asperger's syndrome. And nobody noticed that right off the bat. I had to tell people that, and they're like, yeah, now I'm beginning to see it, because they know my behavior. Then I break down to the less severe, the more obvious ones. I start with the ones that are nearly impossible to notice. Then I end with the ones that you can automatically see, like people who are quadriplegic and the like. People who have Down syndrome. I will end with those because people already know about those, and I think people should know about the ones you can't exactly see easily.
So, do you have any sense for, how Occupy Louisville, how Occupy Wall Street, how this movement that's kind of all across the country now, how is it going to actually make change happen? Do you have a sense for how this coming together?
Turn out?
Yeah.
Well, I must state this first. How it's going to turn out depends on what the people involved in it put into it. I'm gonna put in a sense, I'm gonna put it like this. I'm gonna put my heart and soul into it, and do whatever I can to make sure that the goals involved in it will happen. But it has to be a group effort about the entire thing. And I hope that everything goes to plan.
Great. Is there anything else, other than the questions I've asked you, is there anything else you'd just like to tell anybody who watches this video?
Help the city out. You never know when you might be in that spot. And also, hello to the rest of my family. I know some of you may be watching it. I know my sister is, at least. And that's pretty much it.